enabling profitable exits for those ready to move on. With 27 years of Franchise India expertise, a global network of brands and investors, and a program designed for professionals like you, IFC is your gateway to success. This is not just a business, it's a movement, a career, a future. So, ask yourself, are you ready to be the guide, to lead, to grow? Become an independent franchise consultant. Be the guide. Grow with us. Franchise India.
Hi, very good evening to all. First of all, I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who has spared their valuable time to participate in the special edition of Independent Franchisee Consultant webinar. Franchise India is a 28-year-old company, and we are offering this independent franchisee consultant opportunity for individuals who are looking for a change in their career. Franchise India as a company is available in 97 cities in India, and we operate in 19 countries outside India. In this webinar, we will be covering the journey of Franchise India, franchising as an opportunity. We will also discuss two different opportunities and models to partner with Franchise India. The first one is independent franchisee consultant opportunity, where as an individual, you will partner with Franchise India and do business with Franchise India. The second opportunity is a little larger and an unique opportunity in some of the cities where Franchise India is not have an office. We are looking forward for a partner who can take a full office of Franchise India and run branch by the partner who is called as a firm license opportunity. This is available for selected cities alone. Franchise India is a ready-made and trusted platform to guide investors on starting their own business. This opportunity is for like-minded people who have passion for consulting. This role involves handholding investors and guiding them on how to start their own business. Thank you so much for joining in, and please be there till end of this webinar. This is a 1-hour program where we will also take you through a small presentation and end of it give you a complete overview on the business model. Please use the Q&A box for sharing your thoughts and all your questions. Before we take this webinar further, I would like to introduce the panelists who have joined here along with me. I'm Shaktivel from Chennai, heading Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Sri Lanka operations. Kapil, who is joined in, is Chennai, handling Tamil Nadu operations. I've got Anurag from Calcutta, who heads East India. I have got Sonia Saxena, who handles our international business largely for Malaysian market. I have got Praveen, who's from Bangalore, who is handling our Karnataka market. And we also have our managing director, Ms. Sonia Chaudhary, whom I request and invite to take this webinar further and set the perspective. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Shakti. And friends, a very good evening to all of you, especially on this webinar, since we invite partners from markets even outside India. So I was just looking at the names. I understand we have some of our friends who have also joined from outside India. So friends, welcome all of you. And just I'll set the perspective for this webinar. And I'll also request if we can make this interactive. Any questions that you have largely on franchising, industry, any market specifically you're looking at, we'll be happy to answer that. And so I'll talk about, broadly the opportunity when it comes to franchise industry at large, how big the industry is. I'll talk about Franchise India. That's very, very important. Anyone who's looking to have any form of partnership with any company is very keen to understand who are the people behind what company has been doing. So I'll take some time to even talk about what we do as a company. And when I do that, it will help you to understand where you fit in and what value proposition Franchise India today offers to our community at large. And then we'll talk about the business model of becoming an independent franchise consultant. And one thing I want to start with saying that the opportunity to partner is by selection. So we are looking at partners who are like-minded entrepreneurs who are looking to evaluate a potential partnership. When I say evaluation, this is happening at both sides. So as a potential partner, you will also evaluate based on what we present you. And if you think this is something that fits your overall, maybe vision and in the scheme of things currently you are, whether that's business or you're a professional, we'll be happy to come on a discussion, detailed discussion with you. And once that is done, then the final interview is done by Mr. Gaurav Maria, who's the chairman of Franchise India. In fact, he loves meeting in person, every single partner of ours to understand and explain the opportunity. So welcome friends once again. I would also say this is a very serious partnership opportunity where a big commitment of time and cause is something that we value at Franchise India. It is something which is a full-time, it is not a part-time model. And our approach of this opportunity, everyone at Franchise India, how we look at this is with a long-term intent, a big responsibility, I would say, which is at both ends. So we are responsible to you as partners, and equally you're accountable and responsible not only to Franchise India, but the entire community of my brands I work with, investor community I work with. I open the entire community and those relationships to every single partner. So this comes with a big responsibility and commitment. And that is the reason that you see on this webinar, you see my entire leadership that has come in. In fact, Sanjay Bhatt, who's the CEO who handles the channel at the national level, is currently traveling, is not there today. And second, our partners form a very, very, I would say, important, part of our business of Franchise India. And that is the reason everyone is involved. And I'm sure many of our team members, our leaders, you see, you might have spoken to them and they have been, invited. You have been invited by them. So, friends, I'll start with giving you understanding about Franchise India. And so we are a company that started with only one purpose, and our purpose was to help people start a business, right? So we're in the business of helping people start a business. And one big mission, and this is something that everyone drives every single day, every partner of ours, whether in India or international markets, which is democratization of entrepreneurship, which means making business ownership accessible, more structured, and achievable for any aspiring entrepreneur through a very informed decision making, right? So it is not just options being available, but a very informed decision making process. Now, as your own, I would say, start your own business specialist, that all of us, irrespective what position, what cities we come from, all of us out here, we position ourselves as start your own business specialist. And core driver foundation of our company, like I said, is helping people, or I would say entrepreneurship, helping people start a business. And in fact, the initiative for us to even start the IFC program was to work with entrepreneurs like you who become partners with Franchise India or Fran Global. If you're part of any country outside India, then you become part of Fran Global because that's the entity that we work in markets outside India. But only partners who have the skill and intent to drive entrepreneurship like all of us have. And you must also know that today our community of independent franchise consultants has become very, very big. This was the initiative that we started, I would say, sometime in the period of COVID when there was a lockdown. And every company and teams were also consolidating. So sitting at homes, I think every month we used to have at least 20, 25 partners who started joining us. And these are all mature partners today who still work with us, very successful. And some of them you will get to meet if you become partner with Franchise India, maybe in our shows, our meetings that we do. So you will have an opportunity of also meeting with them. So, friends, I'll talk about who we are as a company. We're a company which started in 1999. And like I said, with one big mission and purpose that was to help people start a business. Because the reason I would say when we started Franchise India, we realized there was a big gap in the market. When I say a big gap, there was a latent need. India historically has been a very big market where entrepreneurship is always celebrated, right? When I say that, I'm also saying that with authority because the last many years I've seen the latent demand where people want to start a business, but they always felt the entry barrier to start the business was high because jobs provided security. People come with no experience of running and operating a business. It requires initial funds. There's a risk to start a business. There's no security. So while people always wanted to do that, but because of these risks, and more importantly, I would say there was a lack of a platform that was educating investors to start a business. So when we started in 1999, we realized we started with a small show. We started with only one magazine then. Today, we run three very big publications in the industry, which includes Franchising World, Retailer, which are publications of Franchise India. And there's also a very large joint venture with Franchise India did with another media company called Entrepreneur, which is a US magazine. And we have a partnership with them for entire Asia and Pacific. And this is also a magazine which is a benchmark for all leading brands in America globally. You know, brands like KFC's, McDonald's, any other global brand perhaps you can think of. These are all companies who take Entrepreneur as a benchmark. In fact, every year these brands are ranked by Entrepreneur from 1 to 100. So top 10, top 20, top 30 ranking is done by Entrepreneur. That is a magazine that we own for entire Asia Pacific. So we do three publications, and over these years, our shows also increased from one small event. Today, we do about 200 events in 1 year. These are larger exhibitions, events that we do across India. And we also do conferences, which are industry-centric conferences. And the third business that we are in is the second business, in fact, outside media. We also the third business in the media itself. We also have a website which is franchiseindia.com. This is a website where nearly 20,000 companies have listed their franchise opportunity. These are companies who want to expand, looking for investors, like-minded people who can partner with them. And equally, I would say this site also attracts millions of investors. Right? These are people who are looking to start a business. They explore, they come, they spend at least 30 to 40 minutes on the website of Franchise India to see opportunities. So when we started our business, we started with the exhibition websites, and these were discovery platforms for investors. So that helped us to reach out to the communities. I would say two large communities. One was the companies, the brands, and the other side, these were investors who wanted a platform to educate and reach out directly. Once we had established that, and over these years, we also evolved. The second business that we wanted to also focus was because that point in time, the overall, I would say, the companies into franchising comparatively were not as many in number that we have today. So we were working with that point in time, companies lesser than 300 in number. And these are all top names, and all these companies that we used to work with, they used to be our exhibitors. They would participate in our exhibitions. They would participate in our events and magazines and .com. So we also realized that if we only worked with what was available, the existing companies, then the overall marketplace, the ecosystem of franchising will never grow. So we also felt that as a pioneer in franchising, it also is a responsibility to bring in more and more companies into franchising. And that was a time Franchise India acquired another prominent name from America, which is Frank Corp. So Frank Corp is a leading I would say company which is much older than Franchise India. It comes with 52 years of legacy, has worked with all the names today which are synonymous with franchising, brands like Hilton Hotels, KFC's, Hershey's, 7-Eleven. These are all companies back then that were consulted by Frank Corp. So Frank Corp worked with these companies to make them franchise ready in America. So when we started consulting, we knew that if we want to do that, and Franchise India, we wanted to work with the topmost companies in India and across the world. So we acquired Frank Corp for India. And ever since then, there has been no looking back. In these, I would say, 2.5+ decades, ever since we acquired Frank Corp has worked with, and I would say we take the credit of bringing minimum at least 20,000 brands into franchising for the very first time. These are companies which were never into franchising. And some of these brands, I'm sure we all consume these brands today. But even the companies, the topmost corporates like Reliance today, the entire retail portfolio of Reliance is exclusively mandated to Franchise India. We work for them, and we find franchisees for the entire portfolio of. We work with the Birla Group brands like Jaipur, Tasva, even Indriya, which is a brand which was launched about 2 years back. They have more than 100 odd locations today. And we work equally with small corporates, startups, which are small companies. And some of the examples I like to share, and today there are no more smaller companies. There's a brand like Natural Salon. Today, they're one of the largest salon brands in India. They operate more than 800 plus locations in India and overseas markets. We started working with them when they only had one outlet salon. There's a brand called Lenskart. We started working with them when they had zero outlet. In fact, the first Lenskart franchise outlet was also done by Franchise India. A brand like Ferns and Petals, their franchise journey started with us. So we have a lot of these names as our, I would say, companies that we have worked very closely. And these are companies we started working with them when they were very, very young. And so were we, back then. And today we have the privilege of working with all topmost corporates. So these are companies which FranCorp has created their business models from their financials to strategy to their marketing communication, legal agreements. So all that is done by a consulting company. Our third business is, in very simple terms, I would say this is business advisory, brokerage, transaction business, because through all the businesses that we do, there are very two strong communities which today, you know, uh, trust Franchise India. One community, which I would say is our biggest strength, is the community of investors. These are people who are looking to start a business. Even in the biggest of exhibition, are investors who walk in. I'll give you an example of the biggest show that we do is every year in Delhi. It happens in Yashobhumi. About 40,000 people from across India and the subcontinent come to the show, spend 2 days. Even in India, also people fly, for 2 days, they fly from different cities, spend that kind of a money. And there are approximately 800 plus companies from India, international markets who are present in the event. But in spite of that fact, we have thousands of investors who would still come to the Franchise India booth and say, we like such and such brand. Do you think this is the right fitment for us? So I think that community with us has always been very, very strong. So we enjoy that trust of our investor community. On the other side, we have companies every single day. There is a new opportunity, a new brand which is launched by Franchise India. So this makes our overall, I would say, business model very attractive, because on one side, we have people who want to start a business. We receive at Franchise India about 1 lakh inquiries every single month, right? And these are from our platform, from our exhibitions, events that we do, organic leads that we get, and also campaigns that we run for various companies that work with us. So that is one. And then we have a research team, which is my, business development team that researches across India, what industries, what categories are going to be in demand, or what is that our investors are looking at. And we proactively reach out to these companies, bring them on board to create their model and eventually launch them in franchising. So that is what we do, friends. Finally, we also have a business of investment, because Franchise India understands franchising. I understand the industry. I understand the market that we operate in. And that experience is not just limited to India, but we have experience of operating in very, very difficult, diverse markets across the world. So the last 2 years, our focus was also to bring in some brands where Franchise India not only represents them for India, from various markets across the globe, but also we became the master franchise for these brands. So today we hold about 80 such brands where Franchise India holds the master franchise rights, which are largely in F&B, education, skill development, health, beauty, wellness. These are categories we have largely invested in. Not so much of retail, but these are the industries that we have largely invested in. And these companies are from almost 25 different markets across the globe. So which means that not only what we represent exclusive mandate, but all the investments of Franchise India as a master franchisee is also available to every single partner of mine in India and different markets, because these rights are not just limited to India. We have taken the rights for most of the brands for all markets where we are present in. So just to simplify, friends, once again, what we do is first and foremost, we help people start their own business. Now, this business is active involvement, which is franchisee business, right? Now, when people look at making investments, they can even make investments in passive businesses, which does not require their time, so to say. But franchising is active business, which is run by operators as franchise partners, and not passive investments like stocks, property. That is not the business that we are in. And there are already millions of brokers out there in the market who help people do that. We are not in that space. So today, anyone who wants to start a business is the community. That is the opportunity we all have. I gave you the number, and that's a very small number. Every single event that we do, whether that's virtual or physical event, our community has become very, very big over the years. So that is one business. And every year, our company, Franchise India, we do about 10,000 franchise sales every single year. And by any calculation, you will know that this number by far is largest. There's no company in the world that sells. Even the biggest of franchise companies don't appoint 10,000 franchisees every year. So this number by far is the biggest, any company can do across any industry. Second is we are a company that helps brands to scale. So companies looking to expand via franchise route. Franchising is today a preferred expansion model for startups, for enterprises and corporates alike. And today, 25 to 30% startups also choose, franchising to scale their services, their products. And that number today is increasing every year, right? So where we work with companies to make them franchise ready, expand their footprint through our distribution across India and also international market. So that's what we do. And our third business is a platform and a company called Business X, where we help companies, individuals who are running their either their independent businesses or companies. If you want to sell your business, our company Business X can work with you, business owners, to help them exit the business. We help businesses and owners to sell their business. Businesses are sold for various reasons, where capitalization can be an issue, succession issues are a problem, or maybe somebody wants to relocate. These are various reasons. A lot of business owners come to us to sell their business, and that is a business we do through exit. So friends, this is what we do, as a company. I'll give you a brief understanding on franchising, because something which is as big as franchising today touches all our lives. Everything that we are consuming, whether that's a product that we buy or a service that we are using, these are all services, products that we are consuming from a franchise network, right? And franchising is a global success story. I always say it is a very big catalyst for entrepreneurship. And it is also a powerful wealth creation entrepreneurial engine for more than 100 years now. And this is the engine that we are also enforcing through our independent franchise consulting program. So franchising is a $5 trillion industry globally. It is what it contributes to the global GDP. And India today is the second largest franchise economy in the world after America. And I would also go on to say that we are at a very big tipping point because the entire world is looking at India. We work with different brands across the globe. Every month, Mr. Gaurav Mare, who's the chairman, he travels to almost 4 or 5 countries. We participate in exhibitions. We do a lot of events. And every time we do that, we see the excitement of the local brands in these countries to come to India. So that has become very, very exciting, from that point of view. And this market today is about $190 billion industry. It contributes almost 4% to the GDP of India. And the influence of franchising, the impact of franchising in the next 10 years will be almost 10x of what it is today. I've seen that in 1999, and these 29 years, franchising, has seen about 20-25% of 30% on an average of growth. Now, the growth in the next 10 years will be almost 10x of what we have seen in the last many years. And I will also tell you the reason why, that would happen. Now, first and foremost, we all would agree that consumption is at the core of franchising. Now, when we talk about GDP, we talk about economy. We always talk about, and when we talk about India, we always talk about consumption. So, consumption is also the core of franchising, and it is here where India's wealth creation is happening. Right? We are a 4.15 trillion consumption economy, which will be almost 6 trillion by next 4 years. And franchising is directly proportionate to consumption. And much of this century's, I would say, global economic trajectory, global I'm saying, will depend on India's progress and choices that we're going to make, and that's a very big statement. Second, today, the overall demand is a demand which is led by India's youth. We're the only country which has the youngest cohort. We have 65% of our India's population, which is under 35 years, which is also giving shape to a lot of new categories like health, lifestyle. Today, a lot of lifestyle, wellness brands, this category, while at initial stage, but are becoming more in demand, right? So fitness, food, beauty, and experience-led businesses, these are all categories which are new, but they're going to become big. And with India's youngest population, we'll have this delta of youngest country at least till 2050. So which gives a very big, room for our growth. Third trend, which I would say is also which has become even more prominent now, is the growth in the first-time entrepreneurs, which I would say is at its peak in the last 20 years, what I've myself witnessed. When we started in 1999, people who were buying franchises or businesses, 90% of these people were experienced entrepreneurs, right? They had experience of either running a franchise or they were in their own traditional businesses. But now 60% of the community that we are servicing, people who are looking to start a business, are 60% of that are first-time entrepreneurs, right? Who have no experience of running a business. And more than that, the generation that is coming forward to also start a business are youngsters. The generation, or I would say age group of 25 to 35 today forms the biggest part of our overall community. And today, India is entering a business ownership decade, which is driven by consumer expansion, which is driven by entrepreneurial aspiration, and a big global brand inflow. Today, all these youngsters, investors who come to us, they're demanding more international brands, right? So the next wave of economic growth is being driven not by employment, but by enterprise creation. Because India, which brings me to the fourth reason, India historically has always a big problem in terms of job creation. And franchising is a solution to that. India still faces a massive job creation challenge, and there needs to be at least 1 million jobs to be created every single month for the next 10 years if we have to fill in that gap. But only 25% of this target currently is being met, which leaves a very big gap of 75%. And when I see today, all even wealthy Indians, or I would say upper middle class today, when we meet these investors, they have kids who are studying abroad and they're looking for business for their children who want to come back to India. So this community today has become very, very big, and franchising offers a solution as many individuals are turning to franchising to buy themselves a job in absence of sufficient high-paying job opportunities, not only in tier one, but I would say tier two and tier three is even a bigger issue, because if somebody wants to have a higher paying job, you don't get these jobs in tier two and three cities. Today, most of these jobs are concentrated in the top, I would say, 8, 10 cities of India. So friends, this is what I had to share. Now, quickly, we'll run you through a small presentation. I will let maybe Shakti lead that presentation. And while we do that, I will also, take time to put 4 questions to you, and maybe you have a choice to do that. I forgot to ask that. And friends, I'll request all of you to please share your profile with us. And to make it easy for you, we'll give you 4 options. So the first option is you can choose from. If you are a management consultant, because this is one profile we really love, you can put MC as an option. If you are a business owner, run any form of business, you can write B. If you're a professional, you can write P. If you're looking for a career change, you can write C. So friends, I request you to write, and I'll request friends if you can write it on the Q&A box. I think that's more convenient for me to, uh, see. So MAN.
With the choice and also the location, ma'am, so that it
Yes,
will make
please
it
mention
easier.
your city also. We need to know where you are writing in from. So I am giving you options, and I'll request friends, please go ahead and write that. Career change is C, and then we have management consultant is MC, and business owner is B, career change is C. And if you are a professional, you can write B. Right. So I've given you these 4 options, friends. Please go ahead and write. And Sandeep ji, good evening to you. You've raised your hand. If you have anything specific, please write. I'll be happy to read that. And quickly, I'll just take names for our, for our friends who've written. So, Mr. Sharma, thank you so much. Rajnikant ji, do we have stats numbers available of current partners' strength and areas covered just to avoid duplication? Sure, Rajnikant ji, we'll share that. In fact, our presentation would cover that. But one thing I want to also tell, there are cities where I have enough partners, I have enough teams, but the opportunity today is big, So even when we have more teams today, I still would have a very big white space. But some markets might not be as big. So definitely we'll show you that spread. Today, my partners are there in more than 90 cities across India. And so we definitely can share with you based on the city you come from. Okay, you have given me option of one. I think that's a management consultant, and I said that's a profile that we really love. And most of my partners in India, overseas, they come from a consulting, management consulting profile. So welcome, Rajkumar ji. Welcome. Pragati ji, you are looking for a career change. Great. We also have Mr. Vinod Natarajan ji. He's a professional from Chennai. So we have Shakti, who leads the entire market of TN Kerala, would meet with you. In fact, I would also say our chairman is traveling to Chennai on Monday. And if Shakti meets you, we'd like to invite you for a meeting in Chennai on Monday. And then we have Mr. Mukesh Kumar Singh looking for a career change from Jamshedpur. Great, Mukeshji. All right. Then we have Mr. Pramod Krishnaji. Welcome, Pramodji, looking for a career change. We also have Dr. Balajit Singh. Welcome, sir. You are a business owner. Oh, I could make that from your name. Welcome. And we have, Pragati from Bilaspur. I think that's a place we can definitely look at. And Rajkumarji, Bangalore is a very, very interesting market. I have good partners, I have my teams, but this is one market where I have enough room to add more teams and more partners. And since you are from Bangalore, I would also say that I have a very big show which is happening the next week, which is 22nd and 23rd, right? So we have, that is Saturday and Sunday, 22nd and 23rd. I have a big show which is happening in Bangalore. You will also get an opportunity of meeting a lot of my IFC partners. And if you come to the show, you will also know what we do as a company. So I would definitely want you to be available, if you have those one of the dates available in Bangalore. And we have Praveen, who is sitting out of a Bangalore office. He definitely would get in touch with you. And yes, Mr. Saifuddin, it is available for GCG also. I have, in fact, Dubai, which is open. We have office in Dubai also. I have Egypt. I have partners in Egypt also. So GCG definitely is open. Anywhere in GCG, we're looking for more and more partners. And that's a very interesting market for us. So we will be happy to speak with you. And wonderful, Benny. Fred, you're from Dubai. You're a management consultant. Wonderful. We love to speak to you, Benny. And we have Mr. Rajnikant, who's a management consultant. Welcome, sir. Ms. Apurva is a management consultant. I see that profile a lot. And we have Rajnikant ji from Mumbai. Wonderful. Bombay, again, I think very, very interesting market for us. I have a lot of successful partners in every market today that we operate in. And we'll help you even meet with our existing partners. Wonderful. We have Mr. Acharya Niranjan ji from Mumbai and Bangalore, two cities. I think you are looking for a career change. Maybe you're from one city and you work in another city. Happy to speak. And Siraj, welcome. Qatar also, we have office in Qatar. We'll be happy to speak to you if you're looking for Qatar. In fact, we did a show last year. We'll do another show this year as well. Welcome, Debashish ji. Welcome, Mr. Pramod. I'm from Mysore. Mysore is a good market, Pramod ji. In fact, I have a firm office in Mysore, but you can join as an independent franchise consultant. But I already have an office of franchise India firm that has been awarded. It's a good market. We'll be happy to speak with you. Wonderful. We also have Mr. Debashish from Pune. Welcome, Debashish ji. Wonderful. A lot of interest. Mr. Bashir Khan, thank you for your interest. Where to post the interest? We'll reach out to you, sir. We have all your coordinates with us. And then we have Mr. Agarwal from Bhubaneswar and Mr. Sandeep Rathore from Bangalore. I see a lot of interest from GCG, a lot of interest from south of India. Great. Shakti, over to you. And thank you, friends, for writing in. Our team would get in touch with you. In fact, I would also share, I'll share my email ID. Anyone who wants to reach out can also do that. And like I said, Mr. Mare is traveling to Chennai and some other cities, including Hyderabad, in the next 1 week, including Pune also. So we'll be happy to meet with you once our team, speaks to you and understands your interest. Yes.
Thank you, ma'am. Kapil, if you can put the presentation. Yeah. Yes, Kapil.
Apurva will be, we are excited for East Africa. Currently, we don't have, but we have done some events in, that part of the world. So happy to speak with you. Yeah.
Okay. These are the locations in which we are present outside India. We are operating in about 19 countries, which is India, Australia, USA, UK, UAE, Canada, Qatar, Singapore, Egypt, Iran, we've got Malaysia, Brazil, Turkey, Thailand, Mongolia, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Nepal, Bangladesh. So these are the places where we have direct offices and we are present in all of these countries. Our expansion outside India. In India, we are Franchise India. Outside India, we are Frank Global. So about franchising, is the model where every brand wants to expand its presence. So they find investors who are interested to expand and work hand in hand with them. So franchisee expansion helps brands to get into all parts of the market, and this is the way in which the market all brands are wanting to expand. The growth is an average of about 35% rate in which the brands are growing now over franchising. Kapil, can we move to the next slide? These are some of our partners who have been with us for a long time now. They've been very, very successful. As said, Mudar sir is from Bangalore. So we've got partners. These are partners where are from different parts of India. So these to explain that we have partners where different locations and they have been here with us for a longer time. Next slide, Kapil. These are our partners, few of the partners. We've got multiple partners in different locations, both in India and outside India. So this is to showcase that, the partners who have been onboarded and being with us. This is our IFC Parivar meet. We've got a couple of photos which is coming in to explain how we work with our partners. This is our Parivar, which is IFC family. We've got this event happened in last December. It had happened in Delhi office, wherein we've invited all our IFC partners. We had our planning with them, how is it going to be every quarter, and then it is just going to be on the award ceremony functions. And these are our international contest which we have every quarter. We have got international contest which is there, and this is also comes with awards and dinners which on recognition we do with our IFC partners. This is some of the brands which we have showcased here. These are different sectors for an understanding which we work with. So as we see, Indriya is here, which is on jewelry. They work with us exclusively. We have got Bagelstein international brands, both national and international brands, which we service.
In fact, we've added only very few. We work with all brands, and these are some brands, some prominent brands which have been serviced by our IFC partners.
Yes, ma'am. We've got Gaurav sir photo here. He's our chairman. And this is the support function which we will be extending, which is tablet. T for technology. We actually completely give the CRM, Franchise India, domain email ID, wherein the mails which is sent from to brands to reach out to investors will be via Franchise India mail ID. Access to our office, as I was explaining, that we've got direct office in 97 cities. Our IFC partners visit our direct office. They sit, operate, do meetings in our direct office. So an opportunity is available to access Franchise India infrastructure in all the locations where we are available.
If I can also add here, Shakti. So friends, everybody gets an access. So we have Freshworks. That is one of the most sought after CRM systems in the world. So every partner of ours get an access to the CRM. All leads which come from different platforms, including organic leads and the brands that you want to work on, all leads go in the CRM. And also our partners get access to all offices of Franchise India. So all my partners, for example, in Delhi NCR, if they have any meeting they want to conduct, they would come to the Franchise India office, Chandigarh, anyone who wants to do meetings there. So we have all corporate offices of Franchise India are open. The entire infrastructure is open for all my partners. And today we have a very strong portfolio of more than 500 brands. And plus we have international and the master franchise which are owned by us. Now the aggregation itself is a very big and a very difficult task. Today, if I go out and say, consolidate and aggregate these 500 brands that you want to work with, it is not an easy task. So when you become partner with Franchise India, on the very first day, you get an access to all the brands. And this number is very dynamic, because every day, like I said, there's a new brand which is launched, and every partner of mine gets a complete training on these brands. You can choose what brands you want to work on and which markets you want to work on. So that is one. And every partner also every month, their minimum of 50 leads which are given. But I would say this number always surpasses because all my partners have access to all the events. Every month I have about every week. In fact, I have 3 events which I do, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and some days I also have 2 events which are happening in different states. So on an average, every month we conduct about 15 to 20 such events. And all these events, the investment is done by us. I have a centralized team that works on prepaid investors. So these events don't have people who just walk in to explore brands, but these are very serious investors who want to start the business. They pay us money to enter these events. And then our partners and our team members are working on respective brands for that market. We invite those brands to come to the show. Any leads which are interested goes to our respective partners who are handling that brand. And all these events are complementary to every single partner. I would also like to add here, for example, I have a very big, this is a larger exhibition which is happening in Bangalore. But it is not restricted to my partners only in Bangalore. Even my partners from Bombay are traveling. I have partners from Chennai. I have partners from Vizag, Mysore, Hyderabad. They're all traveling because these partners are representing many brands which they are leading at the show. So, it is very, very inclusive. And then is a training. So we conduct a 3 days training at the head office of Franchise India. The first 2 days are taken by me and Mr. Gaurav Mare, who's our chairman. And third day, we have respective leaders and Sanjay Bhatt who takes the training. So it's an in-house training where the entire stay, pickup, drop is handled by Franchise India. And these are also days where we get to give you a complete understanding on franchise industry, our products. We help you select the brands you want to work on. So that's a very detailed, extensive training that we do. But outside these 3 trainings, we also do every week, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. These are 3 days every week, whereas refresher trainings are done. New brands come. We also do a lot of peer-to-peer learning. Some of our successful IFC partners will come and present, their cases. So it's very, very interactive trainings that we conduct. And this is something that I would say we have kept as a religion. We feel, as much focus we do on training, our results and confidence of franchise, our IFC partners is much stronger on overall, presentation, whether these are to investors or companies we reach out to. Next slide.
This is the payout structure wherein all we start as IFC partner and then we move to IFC Elite. The structure is we have got the payment structure which is going to be payout is going to be 40%. And then when we move to IFC Elite, we get increased to 50%. How do we move
Shakti,
from
before we get into percentage, friends, I would like to maybe explain what our model is and how do you make money, because you see these abbreviations of IA, IS, BS, BD. I think these are names that we use internally. But let me explain, what are the products that you can sell. So like I explained to you, what we do, on one side, I have companies who want to enter into franchising. So these are companies which are reached out by us. My IFCs also reach out very proactively to companies when they receive inquiries from investors, because not every brand might be actively engaged in an agreement with me. So our IFC partners, our teams at Francop also reaches out to these companies. Now, these companies, it is called business development. So the name that you see is business development. So when we reach out to these companies and they come on board with the Franchise India, there are two propositions we offer to them. One is a consulting program, because these companies might not have a business model in place. And 95% of brands which are coming on board, because the inventory increases of companies who want to enter franchising. So 95% of brands that we onboard are companies which are coming into franchising for the very first time. So there are two propositions we offer to these companies. One is we will help you to create a business model, financial strategy, marketing communication, legal agreements, SOPs, all that is done by us. So there's a consulting fee that comes to us for making them franchise ready. And the second is the proposition of marketing the brand and representing, right? So I don't charge these companies to participate in my monthly events, but depending on at what level the company has come in, right? Because in business development also, I have different layers of proposition. Maybe an entry level brand can come at a 8.5 lakhs. He's not looking for a very aggressive expansion. Maybe a small startup. So we do consulting in 8.5 lakhs. And I also give him a 1 year complete marketing and recruitment. We align our team members, we do marketing, they can come to our shows. So that is what we offer. So my business development fee starts from 8.5 lakhs. It can go up to even 1 crore, depending on what the demand is, how much bandwidth, I would say expansion bandwidth the company has. And accordingly and proportionately, we also put our investment in resources and marketing. It also increases. So that is one payment that comes to us, which is, I would say, a one-time payment that comes to us in form of business development. Now, the second payment from the same company, a brand which has been onboarded by us, comes when our teams, our partners would do a deal on that brand, right? So which means I do a franchise transaction. So when I do a franchise transaction or a franchise deal, what I get is a success fee from the company. So maybe Indriya would pay me a success fee for bringing in a partner. Reliance would pay me a success fee for bringing a partner for maybe Fashion World or Trends. Maybe Royal Oak, which is a furniture brand, would give me a success fee on bringing one franchise partner for them. Gitanjali, which is again a leading salon chain of India, every time I bring in a partner for them, they'll give me a success fees. So that success fees is called BS. If you see on the screen, in the second column, which is BS, which is servicing fee from the brand servicing fee. Now my fee, because now this is very subjective, because while it is said you get 40% of the fee, you also have to understand how do I create my success fee, how these companies pay us. So how I get paid from the brand is either a fixed fee, which is given by companies. Maybe investment of Indriya is very large. So I'm not charging a percentage of the entire investment, but I will have a fixed fee on every conversion, whether that investment goes beyond 50 crores or 65 crores or even lesser, say 45, I would get a fixed fee from Indriya. And there are cases where I take a percentage of the franchise fees, right? So which is approximately 30 to 40%. In certain cases, it is also 50% of franchise fees. And there are companies which don't charge a franchise fee, will give me a percentage of the overall investment that we raise for them. So for example, I raise an investment of 1 crore for some company. They would either give me a percentage of that, percentage of franchise fees, or a fixed fee. So, we'll get into more detail, once the training begins. So whatever I get, and this amount, absolute amount, can range from 1.5 lakh rupees to even 30 lakhs for a single deal. I have partners who have made in even a single month straight 25 lakhs of just commission. So you can imagine what revenue would have come for my partners to make 25 lakhs in a single month, that kind of a commission. So this can vary from 1.5 lakhs to about 30 lakhs minimum, I'm saying, on an average. Some master deals help us even 50 lakhs and 60 lakhs as my brokerage. Now, the next fee comes from investors I service, because investors, I don't work free for investors. I have a lot of free platforms, exhibitions, people can come, pay a small entry fee, enter website, they can, check the brands free. We don't charge them. My daily webinars, which I conduct, my investors can come watch webinars free of cost. And they can even go on the YouTube link of Franchise India, watch as many webinars. We have a big library. In fact, we have more than 2,000 webinars we have conducted. So all these platforms are free for my investors. But at the same time, we also want to ensure we are not wasting time with people who are not serious, right? So, and only that sets an accountability for us to work with my investors, and equally shows their seriousness to work with us. So these investors also register with me, right? So if somebody comes to me and say, I want to invest, say 1 crore, 2 crore, or even 50 lakhs, they have to give me a registration fee so that I can, see their intent. And then our dedicated IFC partners, our teams are then appointed to work on these investors. And once the deal is concluded, right, so I get one fee from registering these investors, which starts from 25,000, goes up to 5 lakhs. So HNIs, super HNIs who are looking for a bigger business or a maybe international brand or a bigger investment, they typically would register at a higher fee, because these are complex deals, requires a lot of time and involvement of everyone from me to our chairman to all our leadership. So depending on the involvement, our fee structure is done. So once the investor takes a business from us, he is also obligated to pay me a conversion, which is a success fee. So the registration fee ensures that the person is serious. And what I work with him through that process, wherein sharing brands, helping them to come on meetings, organizing discovery day for brands, and finally help them sign the agreement. Once that entire process is completed, the investors are obligated to pay us a success fees. So we take that from our investors. So this is how our overall fee structure is split. So business development is 20% we pay to our partners, and the minimum starts from 8.5 lakhs. And the reason is because the entire cost of servicing BD which comes on board is absorbed, because I have senior consultants in FrankCorp which does the entire consulting, and there are 5 different teams that works with a single client. And 40% is for any servicing which is done, whether a brand which is serviced by you, investor serviced by you, or even an investor which is onboarded by you, typically is about 40% at the starting level. So I hope you understand this structure now and what this implies. And elite is a level where you achieve a certain number of deals in a year or certain threshold of revenue. If you can see, it is very, very realistic. So if any IFC does minimum of 15 lakhs revenue or 15 deals in a year, and I'm giving you examples of also my partners who have taken in single month 15 lakhs check on commission, 20 lakhs check, 10 lakhs check as a commission. So this is not something which is difficult to achieve. At the same time, I'm saying it is also difficult to achieve if you don't understand the business and if you don't commit your time. The examples I'm giving you is some of my top partners, some of my moderate performers, but I also have partners who are not putting in their time. There are people who are busy with their jobs. They don't come to our shows. They have not taken training. They don't take any training of the brands. So this is only for people who have enough time to put in. It will not give you returns because our business is return on time model. The investment to become a independent franchise consultant is not that high. So any return today, I have partners who have also earned, about 1.5 crores through us, through the commission. But these are people, these are partners who are coming on every single training the brand is doing. They're attending all events, attending all trainings because their knowledge level then upgrades. So that is very important. And this is where we want to, and that for us is the most important qualifying criteria. We only want to partner with someone who brings in that time commitment. Next slide, Shakti.
Yes, ma'am. This is because the benefits of becoming an IFC partner, as Sonia ma'am was explaining, huge earning opportunity. It is very highly rewarding. As we are talking about payouts of the time which is put into the business, the rewards are going to be very high. Support of office space, as discussed, we are available in 97 cities. Each of our partners can visit any of our office, use the infrastructure, do direct meetings there. Access to the events every month. We do about 18 to 22 events. There is a calendar which is released in the beginning of the month saying which locations we do, where is the event, so that we can pre-plan these events, invite our investors to the event. So all of these events are free for all our IFC partners. The digital marketing support for lead generation events, etc., which is none of the partners do not have to spend a single rupee in generating any of the leads. All the leads which is going to be given is going to come from Franchise India. The brands are also from Franchise India. The work is to handle these investors and the brands. It is additional cash incentive of the brands, which means this is a direct incentive which is given for the closures being done. So there is no cut out of this. So the complete cash incentive is going to be the total revenue, which is going to come along with the payout, which is going to be given from Franchise India. International contest opportunity, as I was explaining, it is once every quarter. So 4 times a year, there is a contest where our partners gets qualified, and we've showcased the photos of our partners internationally. Access to 500 business plus opportunities, which in we have both national and international brands who is already onboarded with Franchise India and expanding through us. So you get all of this in a platter in explaining all of these brands. So we also support, as the core team members, all of us are dedicated to support our IFC partners and doing these joint calls. So we help you in understanding the investors, connecting you with the brands. Until the closure, we will be part of all of that, which our IFC partner does. We will move now to the second model, which is our firm model. As explained, firm model has got 4 powerful verticals which is there. So all of these 4 verticals is available to our firm partner. One is, as of now, all of now we've explained on Franchise India, our brand showcasing the locations we are available. Second is IFC partner. Anyone who takes a specific location as a firm partner will also be able to bring IFC partners under them. And then the CBB, as explained, there is lots of brands who's wanting to sell for various reasons. So the buying and selling of business, the brokerage business is our CBB. Then the fourth vertical is going to be the leasing vertical, which in all of these brands where we do deals for, all of these brands would need locations for expansion. So we also find the leasing property for them. So once the property is done, we would take a value from the investor and also from the landlord. So this also is a viable opportunity. So all of these 4 powerful verticals are given to the licensed partner who takes Franchise India office in one particular city. This is the eligibility criteria, what is expected for a firm partner. A minimum square feet of about 500 square feet for an office space. We would have to have 4 or 5 member direct team size who will be working on the market, reaching out to investors and brands for onboarding and working. The share is going to be 50% revenue when you do a direct business on investor. As Sonia Mama was explaining, the vertical is going to be from the investor point of view, it is going to be 50%. From the brand point of view, it is going to be 20% when the firm does a direct business. In terms of IFC appointment, which is going to be done under a firm, the firm gets about 25% on that. And any business which an IFC partner does under the firm, 40% as an original IFC partner will be given, and 10% additional goes to the firm owner who has taken the license for the region. The tie-up period is between 3 plus 3 years of license, and the firm license fees is going to be about 20 to 25 lakhs depending on the city, and this is till March 27. Ma'am, if you could elaborate a little more and share a few points, ma'am.
It's what we need for a Franchise India firm office, and we have few locations which are currently available. We need a setup which is an office space where the partner would work, and we need to have maybe to start off with at least 3 members, and gradually once these 3 members have stabilized, we'll add maybe 2 more members. So 3 team members under the partner. Now the share of the revenue would be 50% on the deals and IA, which is investor acquisition. Any deals, so if you're regular IFC, there's a 40% sharing. In case of a firm, because we understand a firm also has expenses, so there's a 50% share that goes to our partners. For business development, it remains same. Now, the firm can also appoint IFCs under them. So in case you don't want to have team members and you want to appoint IFCs, you can also appoint IFCs. So when you appoint an IFC, you also get a share of, that revenue that our IFC pays also goes to our partners. And the IFC share also goes to the IFC, which means that you have to part with a big share to your partner within that city. But most of my partners today, they have their direct teams who are working. I feel that's more profitable, while you have a choice to also appoint a partner. And the overall term of our agreement is 3 plus 3 years, which is the initial license is signed for a 3-year term. And the franchise fees, depending on the market and the location, would vary from 20 to 25 odd lakhs. And at the same time, Franchise India also invests with our partners. The entire marketing is done by us, so our partner does not have to make any investment in lead generation. We also conduct franchise events at our partners' location, which is, for example, if I have a partner in Lucknow, I'm conducting regular shows in Lucknow. I have partners in markets like even Mysore, Vizag. I'm conducting regular shows in these markets. The entire investment in the hotel marketing, all that is done by us. So that's an investment that we do, and we also, and that's a continuous investment on marketing and events that we continue to do with our partners. Next slide. So these are the locations where we currently have opening for a firm office, which includes Nasik. We have a Dodra. With Dodra, we still do business. We have a firm office in Surat. I have office in Ahmedabad, but we don't have any direct presence in Vadodara. But this is market we had long time back our office. It is a very, very good market, I would say. Maybe 7 years back, this market alone, we had a direct office of Franchise India. We issued about 20 lakhs from this office about 7 years back. Bhopal is another very good market. Jaipur currently, we don't have Franchise India's office. We in fact had to close our office in COVID because of everything shutting down. But Jaipur market also used to give us on a month basis about 25-30 lakhs of revenue. It's a very good investor market. Mangalore is another market. Belgaum we are looking at. Patna is a very, very strong market for us. We still don't have a partner in Patna. Very strong investor market. Very good for brands, even international brands. I think some of our top performing partners in the past, annually, the top performing partners had been from Patna. So we are still not there as a branch. We were there some years back. And Goa is another city we want to be in, Dehradun, Jammu, and Ranchi. So these are locations and cities where we currently open for a firm license. Great. Anything else, Shakti, do we have?
This is on the criteria, ma'am. The eligibility criteria and the enrollment procedure. Ideally, we're looking at people who are already got experience, who have got time majorly to handle our investors, understand the business. So we're looking for that is the eligibility norm. After this webinar, our individual teams and us will reach out to you directly, understand, and then we will do the meeting. The registration for our IFC partner is about 7.5 lakhs plus taxes. So our team will directly get in touch with you, explain details, and fix meetings with our chairman to take the proposal forward. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, friends. Thank you for being with us. In fact, we'll all get in touch with you, and we'll look forward to meeting some of you and explore this part.